to dive right in, really enjoyed the film and gripping, harrowing, and musical. So, uh, how how has this role made you think of and evaluate sort of where we are as a society in 2025? We're starting out with the big question. Lewis, do you want to start with that?
Yeah, it was just kind of this great question. I was just trying to put words to this, and I'm sorry to make you listen to my opinion again, but I do think like what what Ann Lee did so well was she had this very kind of like punk rock attitude before of cutting her own path. Re- Regardless of what other people thought, but also with consideration of them. We were just talking about having that balance of being true to yourself and finding what your moral kind of through line through your life should look like, while also, having boundaries of like that's not how I think life should be, but also respecting people for how they think how their path is that they're cutting. And Ann Lee did that so elegantly. She was such an open heart, and was so empathetic to everyone she came across, and she had this very kind of like nubile, fresh eye of every room that she walked into. She kind of assessed everyone and took them all in simultaneously, and I think that presence is something we can all, in today's climate, really take from.
Thomasin, do you have anything to add to that?
It's like we were saying, it's such a difficult tightrope to walk. I mean, especially in this day and age, with everything is seen. You can't do anything without people noticing or without people taking offense. It's so difficult to have like a voice whilst being so fearful of how you might be perceived. But I always just like try to do everything with like kindness and good intent, and hope that's okay.
That's great, and thank you. Yes, so Thomas and I just spoke to you recently for Fackham Hall. Yeah.
When you first came on, I was like, I know this guy.
So I mean, I was thinking between doing something like Fackham Hall and then Spaceballs 2, which is on the way, and then having this in the mix, why is one genre more challenging than the other? Because obviously this is a very different film than these other two. Thomas, and you want to start with that, and Lewis, pick it up?
I think every genre I come across is like, I mean, this is a whole new genre entirely. Like, I don't think there's any other film like Ann Lee. But everything I do feels difficult. I mean, for me, weirdly, making these two films, Fackham Hall and this one, felt weirdly similar, because to me they're both comedic. I mean, obviously Fackham Hall is, but there's a lot of humour in The Testament of Ann Lee as well. But I always just like approach whatever role I'm doing with just belief, I think, like taking their journey, their story seriously.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I could not agree more. It is, they're strangely, they're so weirdly similar. Something like Ann Lee and Spaceballs in the approach and the attack that you need to have.
Just absolute commitment and belief to the piece.
Yeah, otherwise it doesn't hold up. It doesn't really hold air, and so. And then also the total need to like, it's scary. It's scary to do the dancing and singing. It's also scary to be like, now I'm going to be funny. Hopefully in every scene, in every line I say, hopefully it's funny.
Yeah.
It's like terrifying, and the moment you start thinking about that, the moment it doesn't work. The moment you start thinking about dancing and wanting to look good, like a good dancer, sound like a good singer, it doesn't work. Once you take away the why of why you're doing it, it just falls apart.
When you try to do something good, immediately it's not good. Like when you try to like dance in a way that looks nice, you look like a friggin' idiot.
Yeah.
Or like when you try to be funny, you're just not. You're like
Yeah.
the least funny person on the planet, so you just gotta not try.
Right, you're almost like distracting yourself of
Yeah.
what is actually you need to do, so then you're like tricking your brain.
And this is like so much going on. Like no one's really, I felt like no one was really looking at me or caring what I was doing, because like we're all in a group. We're all together in it.
Yeah.
So that brought freedom.
Totally. Yes. Yeah.
Right on. All right. Well, Lewis and Thomasin, I think that's our time. But thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
and best of luck with the film. It was great.
Thank you so much.